3 laps remaining, the bunch strung out in one long line. Astana seem very comfortable at the moment in controlling the race lead for the man sitting, what, 5th, 6th wheel in the yellow. That's Lars Bohm. Astana on the front with MTN Quebec trying to get lined up behind. They've got Edvald Boasson-Hagen who can do a job for them. Theo Boss, is he back to sprint form? Gerald Cielek, of course, is a man who's good in a finish, also capable of getting up the road. Christian Sparagli is their likely bunch sprinter. All depends on how this circuit is going to play out.
Yeah, they obviously got enough cards to play with, and I think they're probably dealing with Boasson-Hagen as a potential GC rider here. He's certainly capable of climbing well enough to get over tomorrow's difficult circuit. And I mean, it's not flat on out on the road tomorrow either. There's another Cult Energy rider going. At least that.
Could it possibly be Mortensen again?
It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me in the slightest.
I mean, we've seen, what, 4 attacks? We've probably missed about 2 or 3 of them.
It is.
Oh, and that's he's all over the bike, isn't he? There's as much power as he can possibly muster going into the pedals there. Top Sport Vlaanderen trying to get involved here as well. But Mortensen is up for this one in a big, big way. Team Cult Energy making their presence felt.
I'd really like to know what numbers he's pushing out there going up this particular climb. That is the difficult bit of on this circuit, and now he's kind of descending all the way down towards the finish line again. I actually think I'll drop him a message and see if I can have his data file.
Yeah, I'm sure this frame manufacturer will be impressed with that as well. There's a lot of power going through that bottom bracket. It was twisting and turning under the effort. And a couple of riders on the left-hand side of the picture. They're lapped, of course. And they have been instructed to stay to the right-hand side of the road. They will have to complete the course, believe it or not, have to do all the laps, but they're not involved in the race. They've got to stand aside as Team Bora Aragon, Team Rival and Team Sky try to race clear of the peloton, but Astana aren't letting anything clear. Not by any significant margin, at least.
No, this is it's a tough old circuit, actually. The first initial bit where Mortensen attacked is quite a hard one, and you sort of get a couple of 100 meters of slightly easier, and then it just keeps on, falls flat for another almost a kilometer before you really start descending down towards the finish line again.
So it's the 23-year-old Belgian Floris de Teer that has joined Martin Mortensen. Top Sport Vlaanderen rider, first year on the squad. 4th in Ghent Menin a few years ago as a junior. His most significant result, well, his Palmares is peppered with 5th and 6th and 7th. A win in the Tour of Denmark would represent a considerable addition to his Palmares. Now we find 4 riders out front, but Astana seem well in control of this at the moment. Just under 11 kilometers remaining on this second stage of the Tour of Denmark.
There's been a good addition there from Team Sky as well. Konstantin Siutso has just made his way onto this little group, 4-man group now.
Yeah, Sutsov in good form, of course. And looked like McGinn, Rasmus McGinn, yeah, Mortensen, Sutsov and Floris de Teer. There's your 4 riders up front. Just enough time to name check them, and just as I said, it looks like they're gaining a little bit of an advantage. Could well be a significant one. Will they be able to take this one to the line? Well, they're going to put it up to Team Astana, that's no doubt about that. And Mortensen, well, there's absolutely no way that anything was getting clear without him in it.
No, I think he decided this morning that he was getting into the break on this final circuit, whether he would either make it or it would kill him.
Incredible energy being displayed.
Determination.
Determination. Yeah, he's a rider that's really up for it, isn't he? Second rider in line is the 32-year-old Konstantin Siutso of Belarus.
Still a lot of looking around, looking over the shoulders to see whether they can see the peloton. I think they need to really commit to this if they're going to try and pull away from the peloton. Not going to be an easy job though, with the might of Astana and also MTN Quebec are now getting towards the front of this of the peloton, really wanting to make sure that they're there for the final. They obviously got a number of really good sprinters in here. Pretty much just about any rider out of their lineup here could have a go at this bunch kick.
So 9k left, just under 2 laps of this 4.5 kilometre circuit as MTN Quebec come to the front and really string things out in a big way. And is there anything in that drag that you've seen on this finishing circuit, Magnus, that suggests that this is going to be anything other than a bunch sprint?
I think there is an opportunity to actually go away clear and go clear on this one. It's going to take an awful lot of commitment from certain teams, but it looks like there's a few of the teams out here now who really want to try and make this into a bunch sprint, and with that, I think it will be difficult to ride away.
Well, 4 riders trying to ride away, but it's a narrow advantage indeed. It's about the biggest advantage we've seen lately, but, well, that isn't saying much because nothing has been allowed up the road by Team Astana. Doing a wonderful job in defending Lars Boom's narrow advantage. 6 seconds he carried into this stage ahead of Lars Itting-Back. Of course, he's gained 3 seconds at the second bonus sprint, so 9 seconds is the advantage as Team Rundt are first across the gap to those 4 riders. That one's not going to work. Bora Argon fancy this one. Lotto Soudal getting involved too. And meanwhile, Astana trying to keep the pace as high as possible in the bunch. And, well, the fastest possible attack that can be mustered manages to forge an advantage of about 2 bike lengths.
Yeah, it's not getting an awful long way up the road there, but just watch how easy Jakob Fuglsang is sitting there in just ahead of Lars Boom in the yellow jersey. Just follow that one without really looking in too much, like he was trying too hard, and you know there's an opportunity for someone like Fuglsang to really put the pressure on going up this climb the last time, and with that take the edge off the sprinters. And Lars Boom, you know, he's certainly no slouch, but he's now letting the gap open up to Fuglsang. Just trying to get a few other riders to get up there and get in between him.
Well, that one's not going to work for Team Rundt. They've got Jean-Paul Van Poppel in the car for them this week. Great sprinter in his own right. Will he be lining things up for a sprint later on?
Just looking at Gerrit Sjolik up there, I think he's my man for today's stage.
Looking confident, looking cool, calm and collected, breathing through his nose up that little drag, so clearly he's got a bit of energy.
Yeah, definitely. But he's also very happy to, when the circuits are hard, he usually does very well and does finish off very well. So I think he's in a position there where he's going to be difficult to beat today.
Well, we've still got another lap up this drag after this, so there could be an opportunity to split things. And just as I said, of course, there is this lone raider from Team Cult Energy. Well, the motorbike doesn't want to get in the way. Just shows you how quick that these riders can corner. So important to stay as far ahead as possible. Great images for us, of course.
I think that's Rasmus Guldhammer. Looks like him.
Now, is this Guldhammer from Team Cult Energy that has managed to open up a bit of daylight? This is the biggest advantage that anyone's had in probably the last 20 kilometres. And that sustained period of attacking has, well, offered him a perfect opportunity and a wonderful piece of opportunism from him. Will it be enough? 6.6 kilometres remaining. Another lap of this circuit as well, of course. Team Astana now going to the front once more. What have they got left to defend this? Well, the way that they're stringing out the bunch looks as if there's still plenty of energy in there as well. Michael Olsen is definitely not there because this is a Cult Energy rider. Team Trefor Blue Water is not represented in this lone rider move. And that indeed is, as Magnus says, Rasmus Guldhammer, the Danish rider. Correction on the screen. Give him his due, he is absolutely flying, tearing up the tarmac, racing towards the finish in Aarhus. Will he be able to hang on clear of a charging bunch marshalled by the combined forces of the Astana squad, with a little bit of help from MTN Quebec and one or two other teams? This is a powerful, sustained attack from Rasmus Guldhammer.
Yeah, I kind of like to see the gap that he has to the peloton here now, because I think it's going to be the climb on the final lap that's going to make or break this this particular attempt. Guldhammer is a very good climber though, but I wonder whether he's got anything to just try and fend off the rest of the bunch with.
Yeah, just how much energy is going into staying clear of that. Well, he's really opened up a significant advantage. Wouldn't it be nice to know exactly what it is? But he at least has the honour of leading the field through to take the bell with just 5 kilometres remaining. And there's the bunch behind with MTN Quebec and on the front, everyone looking around themselves. Happy, comfortable, satisfied? I'm not so sure about that. MTN Quebec are trying to get organised. Will it be for Sparagli? Will it be for Gerald Cielek perhaps to launch an attack? And how big is the group going to be? Because I've no doubt that attacks are going to happen on this 13 seconds, we understand, is the advantage for the lone attacker. That's a rough guesstimate. We've had the thumb in the air and the counting the pieces of sand going through the hourglass, and we reckon it's about...
on my fingers.
Oh, you've 13 fingers. Now, impressive stuff from Magnus Backstedt.
I used a couple of toes as well.
Yeah, he went to the digits down below. Guldhammer absolutely in a world of hurt at the moment, but he's only 4 kilometres from the finish. Some lapped riders there, just showing you how intense the racing action has been today. What a great stage we've had. 235 kilometres in total. We've done 231 and a bit of those already. Janse van Rensburg is on the front for Team NTN Quebec on the right-hand side of the road. Left-hand side of picture, just trying to get things organised as Team Lotto Soudal try their luck off the front.
Yeah, Jean de Bie, that looked like from Lotto Soudal having a go, just trying to bridge up to Guldhammer. He's still got a bit of a gap, but this is going to be difficult.
Yeah, the camera foreshortening the gap, but this is the toughest part of this drag, and there's still a little bit left. De Bie just trying to jog across that gap, and it's massively intense, and riders are being shelled every minute now. It's going to be a smaller and smaller group that goes to the line. Looks as if it is going to be a group that goes to the line. Guldhammer is dragged back. Sean de Bie now forges out front, but how much of an advantage is he going to have as they crest the rise? Tinkoff Saxo also to the fore, as they have been throughout this stage. Could they pull a fast one on Team Astana after what's been a wonderful defensive job by the team of the overall race leader Lars Bohm? And indeed, they're leading the team classification for what that's worth. Just winching himself over the top of this drag, almost at the top, and then it'll be downhill to the line, but there's going to be absolutely nothing in it, and it looks increasingly like we're going to have a group sprint for the line. Lars Petter Nordhaug, though, isn't satisfied with that, and he's going to try and pull a group clear at the death in this second stage of the Tour of Denmark.
Yeah, but he's pulling all the major players with him, though. You've got Marcato on the wheel there. Linus Gerdemann is up there as well, doing a great ride. Lars Boom's looking very, very comfortable in the leader's jersey, up near the front here as well. Looks like Jules Jensen is in there, so all the sort of general classification riders after yesterday are still very much near the front.
The team that have been up front all day in the breakaway group, courtesy of Matthias Kriegbaum, represented now on the front of the race with a narrow advantage, just over 2.5 kilometres remaining.
Magnus Kort.
And this is Magnus Kort Nielsen, who knows how to pull a fast one. He's quick in a sprint from a small group himself, but he's not willing to go to the line with some of the heavy hitter sprinters that are involved here today. So Magnus Kort Nielsen is racing clear to glory in Denmark this afternoon. Will he be able to hang on clear? It's looking good.
Well, this is a good move. 2.5 kilometres to go, and there's majority downhill. So if he's got, it's more a question of whether he can keep the cadence up over this particular section.
Well, he's absolutely. His legs are a blur at the moment, aren't they? He's spinning those cranks for all he's worth. He's inside the final 2 kilometres. Magnus Cort Nielsen of Denmark, of the Danish national squad, normally racing with Orica Greenedge, steals a little look over his shoulder and sees that the bunch are chasing behind with 1 mile remaining. 1,500 metres of racing.
1 kilometre remaining there, but yeah, he's still holding on to that lead.
Yeah, and it's anything between 1 kilometre and 1,300 metres. I think he'd prefer it was 900 metres. Now Magnus Cort Nielsen is absolutely dying as MTN Quebec tried to go to the front to set something up. Astana sitting on their wheel as they try to get...
Sjolik on the front trying to do the lead out for what I would believe being Bosenhagen.
Yeah, Bosenhagen surely the protected right. He's sitting third in the wheels there as well. Sparagli is there to do a job for them as well, and Magnus Cort Nielsen is called to account. He's dragged back at the death as they go through the final turn with just what, about 400 metres remaining in stage 2 of the Tour of Denmark. Going for the line, Gerald Ciolek has done his lead out as best he can, and now it is Edvald Bosenhagen that is coming off the wheel and going for the line as Lars Bohm is in great position to try and defend his jersey. Lars Bohm on the left hand side of picture is not going to get the stage victory. Edvald Bosenhagen though is charging for glory, and he gets the win for MTN Quebec. He gets his arm in the air as Edvald Bosenhagen takes victory, and it looks like a 1-2 for MTN Quebec team. What an amazing performance from the African registered squad, but it's the Norwegian national road race champion that takes victory on stage 2 of the Tour of Denmark. Riders still making their way in after what's been a very, very tough day out. Another great piece of course design, because that kept the issue in doubt right the way to the line. What a fantastic scrap that was. And the MTN Quebec squad celebrate a 1-2 victory for Edvald Bosenhagen. I think it could well have been Christian Sparagli that got up to get second on the line. Great celebration.
Well, that's a lead and a half, I'd say, from Bosenhagen, who was leading Sparagli out for the sprint.
He forgot to stop.
Forgot to stop. Well, there's no point in slowing down, is there? You know, if you got the speed up, then you can hold it to the line and just keep it going. Great work by Sjolik as well, taking them into the final corner there, and yeah, awesome job by MTN Quebec.
Yeah, forearms in the air after that one. Absolutely perfect stuff. As Edvald Bosenhagen, Christian Sparagli, 1-2.
Very tight there on the second place.
No doubt about the man that got the win. That was the Norwegian national road race champion, Asbjørn Craig Anderson. Could well have got third. His brother's a handy sprinter as well, of course. Søren, his younger brother. Those 2 good sprinters with Team Treff or Blue Water. Looked like that squad had a sprinter up there of minor importance here, and it was a perfect piece of work by MTN Quebec.
It certainly is. You know, they get dropped off relatively good by Sjolik, and then they just played on the fact that Astana Fuglsang was up there, did a turn, was waiting for Lars Bohm, I think, to start doing the sprint, and Bosenhagen came out of nowhere, opened up the full, you know, opened up the throttle and stayed out there. I think it's just perfect timing by both the MTN Quebec riders.
Absolutely perfect timing, no doubt about it. From Edvald Bosenhagen, it's been a successful year for him. A little bit of a truncated campaign. Got injured earlier in the year and had a little bit of an enforced break. Came back at Tour des Fjords. Back at Tour of Norway, I think it was. Got a couple of second place on general classification. Then stage win in Tour des Fjords. Won both national titles in Norway, the individual time trial and the road race. And now adds a stage win in Tour of Denmark and has taken some bonus seconds to go with them.